All right, people. So, all right, we're talking about double standards. All right, so check this out, yeah. All right, let's see what's going on. A few people are in the building, I know that, because a few people have thumbed it up, so I know there's some people watching. I'm not being totally blank. You know what I mean? I would like to think that you guys just neglected me totally. That'd be just the worst. You know what I'm saying? Just neglecting your boy. All right. Okay. So I saw, is it Andy from Sky asking why Conor Benn hasn't shown documents to prove why he was innocent, and like it seems like it's getting worse than what it was, even before he was cleared. Clearing himself has made it worse. So now, as you can see here, Simon Jordan and Johnny Nelson are talking about Conor Benn is hiding behind confidentiality. That's what it's titled. I don't really want to play any of the audio, really. Could, but I don't want to. I'll leave that. So you know what they're saying. Here's the thing, though, right? You can see. I shared the title so you can see it, right? I've got a casserole in the oven, a chicken casserole which I'm cooking. So I've got to keep mindful for that. You know what I'm saying? I'll bun it up. Doing my charity, not charity, but helping some people out. So okay, you can see what Simon Jordan is saying there. Entire screen? No. This is where we want to go. Right, we want to go back to this PDF here. I've got this PDF up, and it's in concerns with Tyson Fury and Hughie Fury 2018. So you can see I'm sharing it with you. Yeah, this is from UKAD. This PDF, and someone has been responded to in concerns with Hughie and Tyson Fury's case. They've blanked out the email address and the name. And this is UKAD website. This you can see it in the address bar there, www.ukad.org. Da 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 da. So I ain't fabricating nothing, and I'm not trying to rig the game to get one over you, right? This is empirical evidence. You know me already. Receipts, yeah. I like the receipts, so I can. You know why I like receipts? Because I'm not one. I'm a bit hard headed. I like winning debate, not winning debates, but I like to make the debate. And unless you just want to argue for the sake of it, you can't really rebuttal what I'm saying. Apart when you get your feelings, right? So it's saying, dear Mr. Who, you kind of responding, right? They're responding to somebody asking about the email on the 24th of March they sent, yeah? This is 24th of April 2018. Thank you for your email, 24th of March 2018, in which you requested information from UKAD under the Freedom of Information Act 2000 Act. Specifically, you requested as follows. Right? This is what they requested. I am writing to you under the Freedom of Information Act 2000 to request the following information from UKAD. The level of testosterone found in the urine sample of Hughie Fury after his fight on February the 21st, 2015. The level of nandrolone found in the urine sample of Tyson Fury after his fight on February the 28th, 2015. Correspondence between UKAD Hughie Fury between 21 February 2015 and March the 24th, 2018 regarding his failed tests, suspension, and subsequent hearings. Correspondent between UKAD and Tyson Fury between February the 28th, 2015 and March the 24th regarding his failed test, suspension, and subsequent hearings. In responding to your request, this is UKAD. Right? The person asking for the thing between A and D, this is what they asked for, right? Between Hughie and Tyson, between sections A and D, right? And this is UKAD 2. In responding to your request, we have broken your request down into two parts. Part 1 of this letter responds to your request for nandrolone levels, points A and B and above, and Part 2, where am I going with this? One sec, people. Okay. Right. The level of nandrolone found in the urine sample of Tyson Fury after his fight on February the 28th, 2015. Right? Correspondence between UKAD and Hughie Fury between, where was that? Between February the 21st, 2015 and March the 24th, 2018 regarding his failed tests, suspension, and subsequent hearings. In responding to your request, we have broken your request into two parts. Part 1 of this letter responds to your request for nandrolone levels, points A and B and above, and Part 2 responds to your request for correspondence between UKAD and Hughie and Tyson, points C and D above. Part 1, request for nandrolone levels. We confirm that UKAD holds information about the levels of the metabolites of nandrolone reported to be present in the urine sample of Hughie Fury collected after his fight on the 21st of February 2015 and Tyson the 28th of February 2015, section 42 of the Act cells. Any information is exempt if it constitutes personal data, and the disclosure otherwise than under this Act would contravene any of the data protection principles. The information you have requested constitutes both personal data and sensitive personal data as defined under the Data Protection Act 1998 DPA. Having determined that the information requested is sensitive personal data, UKAD has gone on to consider if disclosure of that personal data would contravene one of the data protection principles. In doing so, UKAD has focused on the final data protection principles as it sets out Schedule 1 to the DPA, which is as follows. Personal data shall be processed fairly and lawfully, and in particular shall not be processed unless at least one of the conditions in Schedule 2 is met. In the case of sensitive personal data, at least one of the conditions Schedule 3 is also met. Right. In determining, now, let me just get to the good bit. Right. Having concluded the disclosure of requested information would not be fair. To disclose the information would contravene the first data protection principles. Therefore, exemption under Section 42 applies to the information. As UKAD has the disclosure of the information would be fair, it is not required to consider whether any of the Schedule 2 DPA would be met. For the sake, UKAD is therefore satisfied that none of the conditions in Schedule 2 are met in this case. Right. Where is the bit that I had with confidentiality? It all you see when you go live, it always messes up, innit? Right. Right. Where is it? Conclusion. If you are satisfied with the handling of your request, you have the right to ask for an internal review. Where was the bit about confidentiality? All right, that's gone missing, right? And it's going to take age to find it. But basically, right, this guy, whoever wrote that, yeah, and you can go look for it yourself then, yeah? You can see in the document, right? As soon as I go live, I can't find the bit. I should have written it down, right? You can clearly see that confidentiality, right, had to be upheld. So how comes this wasn't an issue with Fury, Huey, and Tyson, right? Confidentiality. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Rather than do all this, yeah? Right. Can you see it here? You can see it here, right? On the overview, yeah? Tyson Fury's confidentiality is protected by the international standard for the protection of privacy and personal information, SPPP, and the anti-doping rules, ADR, right? Get some more of it. Explanation. UKAD does not consider it fair to disclose information about Fury because it would violate his right to confidentiality. UKAD also does not believe that the public interest in the information outweighs the risk of violating Fury's confidentiality. Where was the uproar about this then? Right? Because all I keep hearing is Conor Benn hasn't showed he was innocent. If Tyson Fury, right, had his confidentially held up, that means he didn't prove he was innocent. Where was the uproar? Why are they going so hard at Conor? Why are they going so hard at Conor? Is what I want to know. Yeah, is that? Tell me, is this fair? Does it sound fair? Right? Does it sound fair? Tyson Fury was the heavyweight champion of the world with 3 of the major straps. Unified heavyweight champion. Right? Unified heavyweight champion. You tell me, right? Tell me where the media were asking why is Tyson hiding behind his confidentiality? Where was Simon Jordan? Where was Talk Sport? Where was Andy from Sky, or whatever his name is? Where were these guys demanding Conor Benn or Tyson Fury prove his innocence? Where were these articles? Where are they? Let me know where they are, right? And if you think I'm being biased to Conor, right, I'll leave the link in there. And we can debate it. It's no problem at all. I'm not going to take offense as long as you're not rude, right? The link is there. Don't come in here showing your PENUS or your perverted crap or none of that though, or none of that. You can debate it. It's not a problem, right? I left the document. The UKAD document is there, right? And it's right. It's right there. It's right there. It's a double standard. Is it not a double? Why comes you guys are not commenting on the stream? Not why are you commenting on the stream? You just like talking about other things, or not even thing. No one's commenting. It's just not interesting, huh? I mean, you clicked into it, so you knew what I was going to be talking about, and you got no comment at all. Bloody hell! Flipping hell! I don't think they're interested, man. Dirty boxing habit, 2 shit beats. Where you been, man? I've been waiting on this. Why do you think Tyson Fury didn't have to explain Why he's hiding behind confidentiality? Because if he wanted, right, he couldn't. And like UKAD might not have legally been able to break with code, but Tyson Fury did not ask. He didn't say go to UKAD. He didn't go to the Data Protection Act and say, "Yo, forget all that. I don't want to hide behind it. Let the public know all the facts." He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He got back in the ring and made a fortune against Wilder. First year he came back, 2018, right? No one objected when Tyson Fury made a fortune against Wilder first fight. He was there. He made a fortune. Nobody objected about Tyson Fury making money. He made even more money off the second fight. They broke all type of box office records, didn't they? In the particular location they was. Yeah? He made a fortune. But there's people, Conor, I want Conor to make money. I don't want Conor to be successful. And look, if you're consistent, I could at least say, okay, I can see your point why you don't want to see Conor in a big fight. But if you're not consistent, if you wasn't banging on Tyson Fury, like everyone's banging on Conor Benn, right, then you're a hypocrite. And I want to know why you're a hypocrite. I want to know why. I'll be back in a second. Just got to check on this food. Okay. Big up Rob, big up Phil, big up Dirty Habits, big up Guzzy, big up Dr. Wood Up, big up Leon, big up Raymond Hills, big up Wayne, big up Phil, big up Rob, big up Manotti, big up Dirty, big up Toby, big up Guzzy, big up Mr. Ben. Okay, Mr. Ben. Interested but maybe wary, as double standards in every aspect of life. Tyson will probably waste most of his money on drugs, allegedly. Guzzy says, control the media and you can hide anything. Guzzy, I think Frank and Aram had Fury's back, shielding him from any backlash. See, here's the thing, yeah, Guzzy, right? When Tyson Fury was fighting his case, right, he had Frank Warren, right? Powerful impact. Although Bob Arum wasn't around then. Bob Arum wasn't around, right? Bob Arum came after he drew with Wilder late in 2018. But he had Tyson, he had Frank Warren, and who else did he have? He had Daniel Kinahan, right? He had Daniel Kinahan and Frank Warren had his back. And the media, right, didn't put Tyson on. Tell me a period, right, when the media had Tyson under pressure about his Ped case like they have Conor Benn. Just show me one period. Show me the period when this happened. Yeah, double standard. Double standard. And it's here. See, I've showed you the receipt. I don't know why I just didn't go to that straight away. I'm reading out all this crap. You know what I mean? Yeah, confidentially is protected, right? And if he wanted, he could have stepped out of that confidentiality and just because he's got the results of why he was cleared. He has the results. They can't do what they're going to do. Put him in jail if he reveals the status of his case. No, he's chose to do that. And I'm not saying he shouldn't do that. That's his right to do so. So why is Conor being told by Talk Sport and this Andy guy and all the rest of them, well, you need to prove, you need to show us the dossier, show us the... Tyson Fury didn't do that, right? And then you've got the retrospective ban. The retrospective ban makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. Right? The retrospective ban ran from 2016 to 2018. The ban was for both Tyson and Huey. Same ban. They got the same ban, retrospective ban. So if they're saying that the ban is working backwards, right? They'd be looking at Tyson saying from 2015 to 2018 he didn't fight, right? So therefore we're going to work his ban backwards. So the time he spent out the ring will be his retrospective ban. But at the same time, he wasn't trying to apply for a license. He was overweight. He didn't want to fight. He didn't want to fight. And Huey, in that period of the retrospective ban, he fought for a world title. He fought every year through the retrospective ban. Ask them how the ban made sense. None of the media asked them that. None of them. None of them. Ryan Garcia, right? Ryan Garcia is supposed to sign up with an agency. I don't know which one. Like, it could be VADA. You don't like VADA. But he's supposed to sign up with an agency and prove that he's clean, right? This is the terms of his suspension. He hasn't been doing that, right? And watch, when it's his time to fight, he's just going to go back in the ring. None of the media are going to ask, yeah, well, Ryan, where's the evidence that you was clean all the way through the suspension? No one's going to ask him nothing. Just like when Tevin Farmer said, I wasn't tested pre-fight and post-fight against Cepeda, none of the media have addressed it. A few small pockets, and not mainstream media either, small channels have addressed it with Tevin. None of them have addressed it. And that's on the Turkey Al-Sheik's watch. Yeah? Why? So, what's going on? How comes people want certain people, to be straight, transparent, show everything, and prove it? Then others, it's like, well, we're not interested in that, Beats. You might be interested in that. We're just interested in Conor. What is the deal with that? Don't no one see nothing wrong with that? Or is it just fair game? Is it just fair game with Conor Benn? All right, no problem, Phil. No problem. Dirty Habit says all Fury fights with Wilder didn't profit. They lost on all three. Yeah, they might have lost. Tyson Fury didn't lose. He made money. Tyson Fury made money. He made money. He made more money than probably 99, 98% of boxers who boxed all around that world. All around at that time in the world. Right? He didn't lose money. Bob Arum might have lost. Yeah, listen, Bob Arum, he said he's in the red with Tyson Fury. He said that, right? He's now with this Riyadh season. But yeah, they was in the red. Tyson Fury weren't in the red though. They had to pay him. He had to be paid. Guzzy, I think Frank and Arum had Fury's back, shielding him from any backlash. Oh yeah. Dirty boxing habits. Conor, the only fighter I see, took the heat for popping. Frank's boy McCann done just popped for, yeah, Tren. Yeah. No, they don't want to talk about that. Yeah. And you could see a physical change in Dennis. You could actually see a physical change. You take a look at Dennis's box rep picture to how he looks now. Dennis looked like he's aged about 20 years. And you watch his first fight with Baluta, compare it to the second. Compare his physical strength in the second fight to the first fight. Guzzy said, totally forgot about Kinahan. Yeah, and listen, at the time, Kinahan was powerful, right? Kinahan was very powerful, extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. Menotti, as far as I remember, Tyson never got criticism or challenge for the Ped use case. Nope. Hell's Bells, White had the same scrutiny, if I remember correctly, both with Eddie, or could it be racially motivated? Hey, listen, I'm not going to run away from exploring all the explanations why some people are getting an easy trot. Like Huey. Huey fought for a world title when he got popped. Retroactive ban. Doesn't even make sense. I'm not running away from exploring a racially motivated agenda. I'm not running from it. I'm not running from it. I'm not running from it. And if they start saying, "Oh, you playing the red card," hey, you can say whatever you like. I'm not saying it is. I'm saying I'm willing to explore it. I'm willing to explore it. I'm not saying it is. Yeah. Guzzy, Ryan Garcia is absolutely crazy. He's basically got away with it. No one asking them questions. Ryan is suspended. Ryan is in Riyadh season, taking pictures with Turkey and all the boxers organizing fights. Big fights for big money. Roy. Tell you, bro. The fact no one is clocking the inconsistency, right, is a worry. It's a big worry for me. It's like, hold on. This don't even add up. He's not even attempting to look neutral. This situation. up something here. Look at Canelo. He denies using Peds, accepts blame for not knowing risk of eating meat in Mexico. How long was he suspended for? They even changed the violation. They changed the violation. VADA, yeah, the same ones who popped Conor. They changed the violation so he won't look like a cheat. They changed the violation. Dirty boxing habits. I was thinking that Beats, he was a different fighter the second fight. Who we talking about? Dennis, yeah? Big up Anthony Mackin. Good evening. We're talking about Dennis. Dennis looked like two different human beings from the first fight to the second. Two different human beings. And at the time, I didn't say anything. I just said, wow, it looked like he's really focused now in a rematch. Looked like, yo, okay, he's focused. And then when you see the violation, Trem and what was it, testosterone, serious steroids, powerful steroids, then you start thinking, and he's suspended currently. He's suspended. Yeah. Yeah, right. Ismail. Zalani Tete got 4 years. He got 4 years, right? Just like Liam Cameron, right? These ain't boxers with high profile. They're not big box office. They're not major commodities. Look how much time they got. Look how much time. Zalani got 4 years. Liam Cameron got 4 years for coke, right? So if you wanted to argue that Conor Benn should have got longer, and it's only because he's with Eddie and Finn, I'm not going to argue with you. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm not going to argue with that. I've said it on my uploads. Fair enough. But why should Conor have to prove any more than a lot of these other boxers is what I want to know. Why is Conor under pressure to prove more than these other guys? Leon said, Tyson used mental health as a cover for the Peds. No longer suspended, simply suffering from mental health. Yeah. Good point, Ismail. Zalani Tete got 4 years. 4 years. Toby Bartlett, I wonder when Dr. Usman started working with Dennis. It would be interesting if it was just before the second fight. Yes, it would be very interesting to find out. It would be very interesting to find out. Manotti, depending if fighters make money, it seems some are more protected than others. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anthony, he says, the Ryan Garcia situation is enough to convince you that the drug failing business is utter bullish. The powers that be in the sport don't care, and fail tests are used as political chess moves. No doubt. Yeah. Fish said, bad time for Conor, board, and society, and we were primed to make examples. Race could well have an underlying component. Who knows? Tell you one thing, if Dennis doesn't get totally dealt with issues, okay. Fish, he believes Conor. I'm not sure if I'm not even concerned. I mean, I'm not sure what Conor did from what he did. Yeah. All I know is the other boxers we've mentioned, Canelo, Tyson Fury, right? They had their team on board to deal with the case, and they did whatever they did to get back in the ring, right? And there was no transparency on, why have they changed the violation? Why the WBC telling us that Canelo is clean before the A sample and B have been tested? Or at least before the B's been tested. And why isn't no one asking Tyson Fury to break with confidentiality and be transparent with what happened? But Conor Benn every second. The game is nasty, bro. The game is nasty. Anthony says, I think that they disclose and ban whoever they wish. I have my suspicions about the man who took a trip to Brazil, but he's the man of the moment right now with massive earning potential. Hey, let's remember how long it took for him to sign up for testing? The man who went to Brazil? Took him a little while. Why did it take him so long? Yeah. Tony Lyons says, Conor been getting the most stick even though he's done a 2-year ban, basically. Simon Jordan can't keep Conor's name out of his mouth over the Peds, yet the dude recently, with Trent, nobody says anything. Not a thing. Not a thing. Mr. Ben, Fury wins championships but wasn't allowed to exploit it as a white heavyweight champion PED cheat. Fuss dies down in 2018 and authorities let him off. Question is, what is going on for Ben to get such? Yeah, well, he couldn't exploit his title win because he gave up all the belts. And then he got stripped and the belts got took from him. He retired. He retired from boxing. Toby Bartley, if Conor was found innocent of all charges, doesn't that mean he has a case to sue UKAD or the British Boxing Board of Control for loss of earnings? Well, that's probably part of the compromise. See, here's the thing, right? People ain't talking about UKAD and the British Boxing Board of Control. Do they want to exercise confidentiality as well? Like, it's a good point. It's a good point. Because you hear the British boxing, oh, he's cleared to fight. He's cleared to fight. Oh, we're not happy with the case, but they're saying he's cleared to fight. They were saying that a little while ago. They were saying, well, we're not satisfied with the explanation, but now they took the knee. Why have they just took a knee like that? Why have they took a knee? Tony says, when Conor gets back in the ring after a couple of fights, people will start forgetting. But it's a fact that he's took more stick than the rest. I'm not sure if they're going to forget, Tony. You know what I mean? I'm not sure they're going to forget. Jamie Williams, big up beats. Yeah, there's some mad selective memories at play, depending on which boxers some fans follow. Big up Fish. Combat Jackknife says, you know why beats, laughing out loud. What, there's no sound? No sound? I can see, it sounds like there's sound there. Yes, Reese, he did pass the UKAD test. Yes, he did. Yes. Raymond Hells, let's not be intellectual cowards. We all know why the press have been all over Ben compared to Tyson Fury and Ryan. Okay, everyone can hear. I mean, maybe you got a connection issue, Sassad. Anthony, he says the world is full of gaslighting and deception right now. The richest man threw up a Sieg Heil, but we was told he was giving away his heart. You have to see and know the truth yourself. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm telling you, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking of thinking of closing the channel, people. I'm thinking of it. Just I'll come back though. I'm thinking of closing. Let's give it a few months and then come back. Society says big up beats on smashing back biceps workout while listening to this live. That's good. Combat, he says, I hear you loud and clear. Big up. Wow. They won't give it up, man. Every day there's at least 2 stories why Conor hasn't proved his innocent. Why isn't he showing us information? Why isn't he doing this? Why isn't he doing that? And it just seems like that. I don't get it. I don't get it. When other boxers say they're cleared or have been cleared by the appropriate authority, everyone just seems to get on with it. Tony, why am I thinking of closing the channel for a few months? It's a bit personal, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. So I won't go into that for now. But man, you might see me back. You might see me back. You might see me back. Ismail says, Beats, you're a legend, don't leave. T-Flash, Uncle Beats, don't try it though. Don't try what? don't try what exactly? Let me know what I shouldn't try. Anthony says, there are occasional drug users and career-taking drug users in sports. Some of your favorite athletes fall into either one of these categories. I don't swear for none of these athletes. Yeah, best thing is not to swear for them. You know what I mean? Is not to swear for none of them. Yeah, you mean I understand that, people, but you know, I've got a lot of other priorities really right now. I've got a lot of other priorities, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I've got a lot of other priorities, and if I don't, and like, you see, the thing is, yeah, if I keep the channel open, I'm just going to be tempted to keep making vids, If I close, then I'll say, okay, I'm cut off, totally focused on what I'm doing here, and I need to be. Big up Tony Lyons. Who have I got? Ben or Eubank? I got Eubank. I got Eubank. He should be too big. He should be too big. So, Sir, do you think there should be only one championship belt, just the WBC, for example, and get rid of all the others? One champion, one division, one name. I'll be honest. It's too late for that anyway. It's too late. It's too late for that. I think the best solution with the belts we can get now is if the people at Riyadh try and establish that Ring Magazine belt for their tournaments and their boxing leagues, and if they can kind of get a UFC situation going on, that's the best solution we can get for now. But as for the rest of the world, the economics don't line up for them like for the Saudis. So you know, Japan, Australia, they're going to need sanctioning belts to sell their domestic fights to the public. They like you know, whatever location it is, yeah, they're going to need sanctioning belts, and it's kind of like a case of the stable door getting opened. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's like. It's all about belts. Boxing is all about belts. You can go back to periods of the 70s and 80s where you'd get headline fights in Britain. Like one of my best examples is McGuigan versus Laporte before he fought for the world title. McGuigan was probably the biggest attraction in British boxing. And when he fought Laporte, there were no belt at stake, and millions of people tuned in, millions of people, and that was a regular thing. When Frank Warren fought Bone Crusher Smith, and Mark Taylor fought Buster Drayton in the 80s, yeah, that was a headline. Like Frank was headlining, and Mark Taylor was one of the major attractions for the syndicate, and they both lost. Bone Crusher knocked out Bruno, and Buster Drayton knocked out Kayla. None of them fights had a belt, and that was regular. It was as regular as anything to have big fights, no belt, no big deal. But now the belt is being used as a prop to sell fights. So outside of Saudi Arabia, that is gonna continue. You know what I mean? And unless and see the thing is, yeah, the Saudis can buy out the WBC, buy out the WBA, the WBO. There's other sanctioning commissions. Yeah, there's others, and they'll just, fill the void and do what they're doing. Um, so Zod, how was Vlad lineal champion? Did he beat his brother to become undisputed? So if Vlad was lineal champion, and Wilder had the belt that Lennox Lewis had, it went from Lewis to Vlad to Wilder. Explain to me how he was lineal champion, Tyson Fury. He what? It depends. If you say he was lineal, he was. But in my opinion, no, he wasn't lineal champion. He wasn't lineal champion. Manotti says, Beats, thank goodness I found your channel. Learning so much. Enough respect. You're definitely the best with the highest standards. Big thanks. Much appreciated, Manotti. Much appreciated for the super chat as well. Big yourself up, Manotti. Big yourself up. I always thought lineage started after like you've got to lineage has got to come from the undisputed champion. Like some people say, well, Floyd Patterson when he beat Archie Moore, he couldn't be lineal. Well, there was only one belt at stake. I think that was the Floyd was in the transition between the National Boxing Association belt and the World Boxing Association belt. I believe he was the first fighter to fight for the WBA title. But or was he? I'll have to check my video. I've got the information on video. But there was only one strap there. But now there's 4 straps. Yeah? You've got to start from undisputed. Billy Hicks says Vlad's lineage started with Vlad because Lennox retired with the lineage. That's how I see it. No, that's how you see it. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. But Ali had to see when Ali won the belt from Liston, right? He was stripped from the WBA almost immediately because they had some twisted rule that a just deposed champion, right? You're not allowed to rematch a just toppled champion in Liston. So they took Ali's belt, and Ali had to go after Ernie Terrell, and he won that to have 2 straps. And even then, he needed that just to have the 2 belts. He was still lineal champion. He was still lineal champion. But I didn't see Vlad fight his brother. I didn't see Vlad fight his brother. I didn't see that. I didn't see none of them fight Lennox Lewis. I didn't see none of them fight Deontay Wilder when he had the belt. I didn't see that. Yeah? I didn't see that. Personally, I didn't see that. He wasn't lineal. He was not lineal champion. Tony Lyons, Fury wasn't lineal champion, and his team used that to make him sound better than he really was. Yes, they did. They abused the crap out of all that lineal talk. They abused it. Combat Jackknife said, after all the lies Tyson has told in the past 5 years, why does anyone take his word about him being lineal champion? Hey, Obs, I think they put the ring on the line versus Shagayev. I may be wrong. Obviously doesn't make him lineal. T-Flash, why would anyone believe Tyson Fury was lineal anyway? He's pulled out of the rematch with Vlad twice. Yeah. Al Shield, he says, nobody keeps receipts like the notorious Beats. Appreciate the super chat. Big yourself up. Billy Hicks, he says, yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, like, you know, there's a lineage there. And there's a lineage of how it works. You can go back from when Jack Johnson won the belt from Tommy Burns in Australia. He won that in 1908, I believe, on Boxing Day, right? And even if you go before Johnson and the racism he faced, yeah, when Tommy Burns won the belt, it was Jeffries was the champion, and he retired undefeated heavyweight champion, yeah. And he himself put forward 2 contenders, Marvin Hart and Jack Root, to fight for the vacant heavyweight championship. The public didn't agree. They didn't rate none of these guys. And Marvin Hart won the belt. Marvin Hart won the belt. He lost it to Tommy Burns, the Canadian. Tommy Burns eventually lost the belt to Jack Johnson in Australia. But, you know, like that journalist, is it Jack Britton, whoever his name was, he made up the term White Hope, and, you know, they took James J. Jeffries, who retired undefeated, off the farm, made him lose all that weight, and they said, unless Jack beats this guy here, he can't be considered lineal, or heavyweight champion, whichever semantics you want to use. Yeah, Jack beat him, and even then, they even though they were practicing what they were practicing, they had to acknowledge Jack was the champion. They eventually ran him out of America with that Mann Act charge, right? And when Ezra Charles won the vacant belt, when Joe Louis held the belt for 11 years, from 1937, I believe, to 1948. You can go fact check it. Yeah, he retired as champion. Ezra Charles beat Jersey Joe Walcott for the vacant belt. So that would make him lineal champion, like, because there's no other champions there, right? But even then, there were states in America that didn't accept him. The British Boxing Board of Control and parts of Europe didn't accept him. They even tried to make their own champion when they pitted Britain's Bruce Woodcock against Lee Saffold for their own fake version of the world title. But Joe Louis came out of retirement. He beat up Lee Saffold, and then after, he fought Ezra Charles for the title, and Ezra beat him. And now, Ezra started getting recognition as the champion. So there's a pattern there where undisputed champion passes on lineage. Whether they retire or lose the belt in the ring, undisputed. Rocky Marciano was undisputed champion. Ezra Charles lost the belt to Jersey Joe Walcott. Walcott was knocked out by Marciano. Then Marciano knocked him out again in one round. Marciano made a couple of defenses and then retired. Then Floyd Patterson won the vacant belt from Archie Moore. Lineal, undisputed champion. Because there's no other champions, right? It's not like the old day. Like, Vlad didn't fight Wilder. Whether Wilder ducked the fight or thing, Wilder did duck it, but Vlad didn't really call for it either. Vlad didn't fight Wilder, right? And when Vitali had the belt before him, they didn't fight each other. They didn't fight each other. It's got to come from an undisputed claim. Like, we go back to where I was going, right? Floyd Patterson had the belt. Explained that already. Undisputed champion, yeah? He fought a lot of weak challengers, yeah? He didn't fight Zora Foley. He won't fight black contenders like Zora Foley, Eddie Machin. But Liston fought them. He beat up Zora Foley. He beat up Eddie Machin. Floyd wouldn't face them, right? What's the white guy who he fought? Roy something. Floyd defended against Roy someone, and it was a tough fight for 12, 13 rounds. Liston blasted the guy out in a round. Liston beat Floyd Patterson, took the belts, become undisputed champion. Like I said, Ali beat Liston twice, and they stripped Ali of the WBA strap. A few years down the line, he got that belt back from Ernie Terrell, right? Then the government took his straps, and there was a heavyweight tournament with the WBA, which Jimmy Ellis won the WBA tournament, right? In Ali's absence, while Ali's retired, yeah? He had the WBA strap, and then Joe Frazier, in Ali's absence, he had the New York State Athletic Commission title, which came back into circulation after years. Like the New York State Athletic Circular, like Frazier won the belt around 1969, I want to say, against Buster Mathis Sr., right? The New York State Athletic Commission title hadn't been in circulation since probably sometime in the 50s between Jersey Joe Walcott, Marciano, and Patterson. I haven't got the exact data, right? So Jimmy Ellis won the tournament, right? He floored Bonavina twice, Iron Chin Bonavina. He beat Jerry Quarry, and he had a very good tournament. He won the tournament, WBA champion. So now they're looking for an undisputed champion in Ali's absence. So Joe Frazier has this New York State Athletic Commission title. So what they did, right, is they made a unification, right? They made a unification. The WBA in Ali's absence set up the tournament to find a champion. Jimmy Ellis won it. Joe Frazier had the New York State Athletic Commission title. And the WBC title, when Ali had his shit stripped from him, right? That belt went into hiding. They took it out of the game for a few years. So when Frazier fought Jimmy Ellis, you had the New York State Athletic Commission title, you had the WBA title, and the WBC title came back. When Frazier knocked out Jimmy Ellis, the New York State Athletic Commission, right, that went back into obscurity and it's never resurfaced since. Yeah? It's never resurfaced since. Joe Frazier was technically undisputed champion because he's got both straps. He's got WBC and WBA straps. But the public were not happy with that. The lineal champion is Muhammad Ali. The lineal champion is Muhammad Ali. When they stripped him of his license, he was WBC and WBA champion. He had already beat Ernie Terrell. The last fight before his hiatus was against Zora Foley. They stripped him. So outside of America, right, the biggest gig in town is Britain. And the British Boxing Board of Control did not recognize Joe Frazier as champion. He had 2 straps. There was only 2 straps in the game. He had both of them. The British Boxing Board of Control did not recognize Joe Frazier as champion. Right? And he had 2 straps. So when Ali came back and fought Joe Louis for the lineal championship and the 2 straps, and Joe beat him, then he became that guy. He had lineal and undisputed, right? Then you go to 19, sorry about people. Let me put Ali's box rec up quickly. It won't take long. Won't take long, people. All right. Right. Got it up. So, Leon Spinks upset Muhammad Ali February 1978, right? And he became, forget what Boxrec said, there's 2 belts there, right? Boxrec don't recognize the WBA. No. One sec, I've got to check that food. I don't want to bun up my food. Good one, Dirty. Sorry about it, people. Right. So Leon upset Muhammad Ali via split decision. He was 6-0-1. He became heavyweight champion. Ken Norton was his mandatory. So there's no money in a Ken Norton fight, right? And he's likely to take the beating of his life. So he opted to fight Ali for the rematch. The WBC stripped Spinks of the WBC belt, which they gave to Ken Norton. Norton lost that belt to Larry Holmes in one of the best heavyweight fights ever, right? Great fight. Ali, in that same year, takes the belt back from Spinks, the WBA belt. He takes the WBA belt back from Spinks and retires as heavyweight champion, right? That belt got farmed out. What's his name? John Tate. He won that belt in South Africa against I believe, was it either Jerry Coetzee or Canotzi. One of them two, Coetzee or Canotzi, right? I want to say Coetzee. I want to say Jerry Coetzee. And he held that belt until who flushed him out? Mike Weaver flushed him out. So that WBA belt, no one could keep hold of that belt. So let's forget the WBA belt, right? Because that got passed around like Lily Phillips, right? That got passed around, right? For years. Went from Mike Weaver to Mike Dokes to Coetzee, from Coetzee to Greg Page to Tony Tubbs, from Tony Tubbs to this, that, blah, blah, until Tyson started cleaning up the whole thing. But let's focus on that WBC strap, right? The WBC strap went to Larry Holmes after he took it from Ken Norton, who was given the belt when Spinks wouldn't defend against him and took the rematch against Ali. Larry Holmes held that belt. How long did Holmes hold that belt? Now, Holmes made a total of 19 defenses. 14 of them were via the WBC. The other 5 or 4, that's if they include the Marvis Frazier fight. I'm doing well to remember all this. We'll make it 19 defenses. Right? The reason I know so much about it, it's my favorite period of boxing. Right? 19 defenses. So Holmes was the lineal champion. Right? He was never undisputed, but he was always lineal champion. Right? Why? Because Ali came back. When Holmes had the WBC belt, remember Ali retired after beating Spinks? He retired as champion. He came back and fought Larry Holmes. Ali never lost the belt in the ring. He passed lineage to Larry Holmes. And then you got Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, he turned pro. What time? Oh, man. Okay. Try to remember when Mike Tyson turned pro. Mike Tyson turned pro, let's say. All right. Let me put his box rec up. Right. March 1985 against Hector Mercedes. March 1985. And no one's ever going to beat his record. Right, by the way. No one. If someone beats him to become younger heavyweight champion, fair enough. But no one's going to win the title quicker than he did from turning pro. Nobody. Become an undisputed champion. Right? He became champion for 1985. By November 1986, he was champion. Right? And let's remember, right, before we carry on, Larry Holmes, the lineal champion, remember I told you, Holmes, 14 WBC defenses, let's say 4 or 5 IBF title defenses. He loses to the undisputed light heavyweight champion, Michael Spinks. So Michael Spinks, technically, is the lineal champion. Even though Mike Tyson has all 3 straps, WBC, IBF, WBA, right? He's the lineal champion, Michael Spinks. And even though Mike done all the heavy lifting in the tournament, Mike got all the straps in the tournament, they didn't consider, like some members of the media, well, you haven't beat Spinks yet. And obviously he knocked out Spinks in 91 seconds and he became undisputed and lineal champion, right? So you can see that there's a thorough examination of how you become lineal champion. If Vlad and Vitaly didn't fight each other because they're brothers, hey, we understand why you didn't fight, but the facts are you didn't fight. There was no, like, the lineal claim has to come from someone being undisputed champion, whether they defend the belt and lose it or retire, and someone picks, and 2 other contenders pick it up. Some people are trying to say now that, oh, well, when Vlad fought David Haye and number 1 and 2 fought, that no one was ever lineal champion, right? We can go from there to when Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas. That was winter 1990, right? All 3 straps went to Buster Douglas, right? All 3 straps went to Buster Douglas. Buster put on all that weight like an idiot, right? And lost the 3 straps to Evander Holyfield, first defense, 8 months after beating Mike Tyson, right? Holyfield, he lost the belt after having a few defenses to Riddick Bowe, yeah? He had his little series with Riddick Bowe. And then, how did it go? He lost the title in 92 to Riddick Bowe by UD. Yeah? And then, how did it work again? Riddick Bowe won it back. That's right. Riddick Bowe won it back. No. Yeah. No. Okay, sorry, people. Sorry. Right. So Holyfield lost to Riddick Bowe. He lost the belt in 1992 to Riddick, right? Then he won it back from Riddick in 1993. He won it back. Michael Moorer, he upset Holyfield. They say Holyfield had a heart attack in that fight. But Holyfield, with Teddy Atlas in his corner, he squeezed out a decision against Holyfield. Squeezed it out. Right? Moorer, did he lose in his first defense to George Foreman? I'm trying to remember. I think he did, you know. He lost in his first defense to, how old was Foreman? 44-year-old George Foreman. 44-year-old George became the oldest ever heavyweight champion. He knocked out Moorer, right? In 10. So Foreman now has the belt, promoted by Bob Arum. Now, as great as an accomplishment it was, Foreman's second reign as champion, it was very dodgy. It was dodgy as anything, yeah? It was dodgy. Because Bob Arum did some trickery and got himself stripped of the WBC belt because they wouldn't defend against Tony Tucker, right? And then they paid off the IBF some bribery shit, and they got this German, Axel Schultz, to become the challenger. George won a majority decision, which most people thought he lost. And Foreman was stripped because he would not rematch Axel Schultz. He was stripped of that belt. So when he beat Mora, there was only, I think there was only 2 straps. Yeah, because the belts became divided. Don't ask me to go back and work that all out right now. I'm a bit lost. So it ended up, right, that Foreman didn't have no of the sanctioning straps. All he had was the lineal title because he beat Mora. Mora beat Holyfield. Holyfield beat Douglas. Douglas beat Tyson. We know Tyson was undisputed and lineal champion. He beat Michael Spinks and he cleaned up the tournament to become undisputed. So all George Foreman had was the lineal title. Foreman was defending some IBA title and the WBU title. He beat Crawford Grimsley. God knows how he got a title shot. And Lou Savarese. Right? And he lost that belt, the lineal title, to Shannon Briggs. Right? There's no belt on the line in the fight against Shannon Briggs. But that is marked down in history as the lineal title passing hands to Shannon Briggs. Who did Shannon Briggs lose to? He lost to Lennox Lewis. Lennox, let's see how Lennox is, how did Lennox do it? Let me see. Lennox, after beating Shannon Briggs, I tell you what, yeah? Lennox had the WBC title because he rematched Oliver McCall, who previously beat him, and he had it back, right? So Lennox defended that WBC belt against Shannon Briggs and became lineal champion as well. I tell you what, the Shannon Briggs fight is really good. And then next defense, he fought this Croatian. A fight which people don't talk about, right? His name is Selko Marovic. Marovic is one hell of a fighter. Let me tell you that now, right? Marovic only lost 1 fight in his career, and that was to Lennox Lewis. If you get time, go watch that fight, man. He gave Lennox a tough fight. Despite the scorecards, he gave Lennox a tough fight. This guy was tough, bro. He was good. So Lennox takes the WBC title and he he has a unification against the WBA and IBF champion, Evander Holyfield. At this stage, the WBO belt is not relevant in becoming undisputed. It's active. It's an active belt, but it's not relevant. You need 3 straps to become undisputed. So, Madison Square Garden, it scored a split draw. Although, Lennox won the fight, in my opinion. He won the fight. In the rematch later on that year, Lennox becomes undisputed champion, right? He becomes undisputed champion, wins a unanimous decision, which was a lot closer. The rematch was a lot closer, in my opinion. And from Lennox retired after, he didn't retire with all 4 straps, right? He gave up the IBF strap against Chris Bird. Some say because he's never fought a southpaw, and Chris won the vacant belt against Evander Holyfield. What happened with the WBA strap? Yeah, the WBA strap, Don King, after Lennox beat Holyfield, he was supposed to defend against, his first defense was against Michael Grant. That was the first mandatory that came up, the WBC, Michael Grant. But he also had a mandatory against John Ruiz. So this is when all that super belt and interim belt crap started, because Don King took Lennox to court, and Lennox was stripped of the belt, and all right, trying to channel my memory here. He was stripped of the belt, and John Ruiz and Holyfield fought for the vacant belt. They had about 3 fights, of which John Ruiz got the better of. And Lennox retired after the tough fight with Vitaly Klitschko as WBC and lineal champion. Right? No one beat Lennox. He never came back. No one beat Lennox. Vlad got the WBC strap. He previously had the WBO strap. No, Vitaly had the WBC strap, and he previously had the WBO. His brother had the WBO strap. Eventually, he became unified champion. But neither of them beat Lennox. Vlad didn't beat Deontay Wilder, right? So unless you're going to go by, what's that organization who do the rankings or what? They've got it. If you fight the number 2 or number 1, that you're lineal. If you go by their standards, then yeah, okay, he's undisputed. I don't go by that. I go by the history, by what's traditionally happened. To be lineal champion, it's got to come off an undisputed champion's reign. That's what I go by. That's what I go by. Yeah, that's it, Chan. Bo vacated the WBC because he wouldn't fight Lennox. Yes, yes, indeed. Big up Porridge. Tone, did Ring Magazine anoint Vlad lineal champion, or was that a myth created by fanboys? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Mr. Doc, he says, Courtsia, both him and Konotsi were in the tournament, though, along with Leon. Was it a tournament? I'm not sure if it was a tournament. I mean, they held the fight in what do they call it? Is it Westfeld in South Africa? Yeah, I go by the last undisputed champion. Yeah, and if there's 3-4 belts out there like there is today, I mean, you see, when Fury was champion and Vlad was champion, you needed all 4 belts to become undisputed, and we see Usyk achieve that recently. Neither Fury, Vlad, or Usyk held all 4 straps. Neither of them. Wilder, didn't beat Wilder, Vlad, or Vitali, or Vlad, I should say. So, no, I don't agree. No Gumshield, he says, I've been saying for years, Vlad was never lineal. New lineage starts with undisputed. The fanboys were killing in the chat for such. Yeah. That's how I've always interpreted it. You know what I mean? It's like that. That's how I've always viewed it. Bill Hicks, he says, thank you for the thorough explanation. After that, I agree. Usyk is now the first lineal champion after Lewis, and we go on from there. That makes sense. Yes, Usyk is the bona fide lineal heavyweight champion. No doubt about that. No doubt. No doubt. You know what I mean? No one could question or go through some revisionist history take to take his claim away. Can't. Can't. Undisputed lineal champion. Even if they took that strap, or that you got stripped, or if whether he vacated it or he got stripped, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. Daniel Dubois is a title holder, and I'm not saying he doesn't deserve recognition for that. He does, but Vlad is the guy. Not Vlad. Usyk is the guy. Usyk is the guy. Usyk is the guy. 100%. What's the time? 7 o'clock. Right. People, I have to bring people's food to them right now, so I'm going to deal with that right now. Who else is in build? Big up Chen. Big up Mr. Duck. But yeah, I'm sorry, man. Combat. He says Tyson hustled Deontay Wilder out of his position when he was on the couch, approaching 400 pounds. He just saw Wilder as easy pickings. Society says, Beach, your time and effort with this channel is appreciated. I listen to all your uploads and it would be a shame if you left. But if you do, good luck, bro. And I hope you return because you're top. You guys will forget all about me, man. I'll be forgotten news, man. I'll be forgotten news. It's all right. I tell you what, man. Tyson Fury and Frank Warren, they sold that lineal thing. They sold it hard. They sold it so hard. They sold it so hard. It is what it is. Anything to make the money. That's the thing. I'm not mad at that, but facts are the facts. Facts are the facts. Facts are the facts, man. And then you've got what we started with, man. Like no one asking why Tyson Fury didn't forfeit his confidentiality. Why didn't he? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Remember Klimas told Fury, you keep saying you're lineal champion. Yeah, that's the one. Remember Klimas? He went and said, you keep saying you're lineal champion. He says Klitschko was never a lineal champion. And Fury never said crap. And Frank Warren never said crap. Because he had them. He had them. Yeah? No one in the room challenged Klimas in that press conference. You think about that. They come all the way to England, right, to fight the lineal champion. Usyk's manager says, why does Tyson Fury say he was a lineal champion? Who did he beat? He said Klitschko was never a lineal champion. Yeah. Yeah. I've used that soundbite from Klimas a few times. I've used it a few times. Yeah, he was never lineal champion. And if you see Usyk, he's very meticulous, right? He wasn't going to go anywhere until he hunted down whoever had that fourth strap. Yeah? He wasn't going to go anywhere. Tyson Fury trying to say he's undisputed because he held 3 straps in 2015, and then when he fought Wilder, he held the WBC strap. No, it don't work like that, Tyson. It's a good accomplishment, and he has had all 4 belts in saying that, but you haven't had them all at once. Combat says big facts Beats. They was completely silent when Klimas brought that point up. Completely. Not a peep. Not a peep. And you see the likes of them Talk Sport. And I tell you what, man. See that Danny Flexen yesterday? He really peed me off yesterday. He peed me up. See, and this is one of the reasons I don't do media. And don't get me wrong, because without the media, I wouldn't be able to do my videos. But he was talking to Frank Warren about the Dennis McCann case and that doctor, is it Majid? Usman Majid, yeah? Listen. Danny was speaking to Frank, and he brought up that Majid and how the British Boxing Board of Control are saying they don't recognize Majid. He's not affiliated to the board and blah, blah, blah. And here, Danny, yeah, Majid has been seen with Dennis McCann, who had just popped, and Conor Benn. I was saying, and who else, Danny? He missed out. I said, you bottled it, innit? You bottled it. You said Dennis McCann, you said Conor Benn, but you didn't say Tyson Fury because you're speaking to Frank. He wouldn't say Tyson Fury. Scared. You bottled it. And for someone who is maybe just a casual observer, they're going to say, oh, well, I didn't hear Tyson Fury's name. They didn't hear it. Yeah. He didn't mention his name. You can see the picture with Tyson Fury. There's pictures with Majid and Conor, Majid and Dennis, and Majid and Tyson Fury. And Danny knew this. It's not like that. Danny pretending, oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You get lost, Danny. We know you didn't forget. 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 Con job. And that's one thing, I'm not disrespecting none of me. I get it. You don't want to lose your accreditation, yeah? You don't want to lose your accreditation. And why should they compromise their livelihood because I want Frank to be brought to task? Why should I get that? Yeah, I get that. I'm not an idiot. If I was in this position, probably did the same thing. Would probably do the same thing, right? But nonetheless, it's got to be pulled. You got to be pulled up. You got to be pulled up. You got because if you're gonna call it for what it is. See, there. You see, look. There's Conor, there's Tyson, and there's Dennis. They're all with this guy, right? They're all three of them with him. Just call it as it is. Danny weren't prepared. He wasn't prepared to do that. He weren't. See, the thing is, yeah, if I was media, I'd have to do it. I would have to do it. I would have to do it. I would have to call it. So yeah, he's been in pictures with Tyson, Dennis, and Conor. And he also works with Lewis Edmondson. Ismail says, facts. He knew Frank Warren would have got into him if he mentioned Fury. Yeah. Combat says, Frank Warren is way too litigious for me. He thinks he's a tough guy for suing Eubank Jr., calling him a scumbag. He better go play with his grandkids. Boy, Frank not messing about, bro. He's getting stuck into Eubank, innit? Getting stuck into Eubank. Frank not joking with him. Frank not joking.
Progress on that, so he has he's paid his money for his B sample. I've spoken to him for a couple of weeks. He's paid his money for his B sample, so that's been tested. I don't know whether the results have come back yet. which they will go back to him because that's who. Because obviously it involves him personally, and the boxing board in the trying to meantime suspended him, and UKAD will obviously come up with a date for a hearing.
Now, Robert Smith did an interview with the Times, and he said they're taking a close look at a particular doctor, Usman Sajjad, who has worked with Conor Benn previously. Dennis McCann he was pictured with. I don't know if they've worked together. But more notably, he did a podcast a couple of years ago where he talked about ways to drug tests. Do you know anything about this particular doctor or any relationship he might have?
You see that? And Frank didn't come out and say, yeah, he worked with Tyson too. This, like, man, fuck, I'm telling you, man. See, this is what I'm talking. This is like the theme of this hangout. And I'm not singling out Danny. This is how easy it is to buy the media's silence, right? You see how easy it is? Like we're saying, they keep going at Conor to show us all the proof that he's innocent, but they're not doing it with Fury. You see how Danny just conveniently left out Tyson Fury? This is how you keep the circle of power going. Anyone who challenges it or goes at Frank, says, yeah, Tyson Fury was with this guy, you get thrown out. You get thrown out. Yeah. Shit is real. Combat. Frank knows that Ben Shalom put Chris up to it. And that's why Ben Shalom is suing Liam Cameron as a... He's not suing him. That was just a legal letter. He's not suing nothing. He's not suing Liam Cameron. Frank dared him to sue him. Frank dared him. He ain't suing anything. Frank, he sent them legal letters to Eddie Hearn. He sent them to who else? He's always sending these legal letters, but not suing no one. Ben Shalom. Frank don't send legal letters, bro. Frank sends writs. Frank will send the writ, bro. That's what he'll do. He'll send the writ. Yeah. It's power. See, that's the thing. All it is, money and power, bro. Money and power. Nothing more than that. Right. What's the time? Right, it's past 7. I've got to get out of it. I could start another hangout later. You know what I mean? Because I'm not sure if I might not have time to go. I wanted to go live on Saturday to do the daughter, but I'm not going to be around, man. I'm not going to be around. I'm not going to be around. It is what it is. All right, people. Big up Tone. Big up Dio Benuli. Big up Lady Chan. Big up Billy X. Big up everybody. Big up Anthony Mackin. Big up Porridge. Dirty Abbots. Mr. Duck. Bizzle. Combat. Sassad. A-Obs. Big up Al Sheila Minotti for the super chats. Hit the like on the way out. Much appreciated. If you guys could do that, anyone who hasn't hit the like, if you could do that, that'd be great. Peace.